So, what do I think of all this, air quotes drama in regards to LTI only on war bond and recycled money concept ships no longer get LTI business? So, a while ago, I kind of came to a decision. And that decision was that I feel that I've put up more than my fair share to make sure this game gets developed. I've put up much more than my fair share. And so I think that, I'm very interested in seeing Star Citizen become a reality, a functional, a functional reality. I think that it's a game that, broadly speaking, the industry needs, because there are too many companies out there that are focused on just making the same regurgitated title with minor changes year after year after year after year. No one in particular, Ubisoft. And so I feel that realistically this is a game that needs to get done. I've put up more than my fair share to support the game, and as of this year, I'm out of the production pipeline. All the ships that I own are done and flyable, so long as, once again, so long as they keep to the schedule. Now, things change, but I'm kind of happy with that. I feel that being in that position now has lent a new perspective to things. Now, on the one hand, it's kind of put me in a position where I don't think that it's fair to really kind of sit there and say, oh, you guys should just be patient. You guys should just wait for your ships, and CIG gets it done whenever they get it done. It's very easy for a person in my position to sit there and say that to somebody else. It's a very dismissive and shitty thing to say, so I don't say it. These things take time. Yes, they do. But I understand the frustration. When I look at somebody who owns a Banu Merchantman or somebody who owns a Carrack, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I totally understand why you're mad. And I'm never going to be sitting there going like, oh, you Banu Merchantman owners, you just need to chill out. CIG will get to it when they get to it. By the way, what do you think of my new... actually, I shouldn't say that yet. I haven't revealed that. But the point is, I have, through the ships that I purchased, through the kind of, through the kind of shakeout that we've had over the years, I've kind of taken this lump of money that I put into Star Citizen, which was very much, just kind of like a shapeless glob. And through the different ships that have come out, through the different concept sales, I've kind of shaped that out into what I feel is going to be a functional and fun machine that allows my character to progress at an accelerated rate through the Star Citizen universe. I don't own a Javelin. I don't own an Intrus. But I now have the groundwork in place that is not an unreasonable goal. That is not an impossible goal. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is I kind of wanted to get that groundwork in first before I kind of get into the meat and potatoes of this, because there's two major arguments for and against this. Now, argument one is that, well, this is just to combat the gray market, and that is a legitimate point of view. That is entirely a legitimate point of view. It is certainly not unheard of for someone to go into a concept sale, let's say the Buccaneer concept sale, and take whatever money they have in the game, melt everything, buy 10 Buccaneers, and then melt everything back, start getting all their ships back. But now they've got these buyback tokens for these LTI Buccaneers. And if someone were interested down the road, say, to purchase an LTI Buccaneer, this person could then take real money, buy back one of those Buccaneers, and then sell that on to the other person for a profit. And this is kind of where the pro argument is to limit that because CIG does not like the gray market. No big surprise there. Now, the argument against is kind of what I was talking about before, is this kind of, it infringes on people to a certain degree in creating kind of a fluid fleet. As the game evolves, as certain roles maybe become better than others, as maybe people's ideas of what career they want changes or how they want to configure their fleet changes, limitations like quarterly buyback tokens for, you know, taking the money that you already have in game and reacquiring something, or perhaps you bought a concept ship and you thought it was going to be really great, but then you ended up waiting too long for it. Like, I don't know, the Banu Merchantman, and then you said, well, instead of a Banu Merchantman, why don't I just kind of get a Caterpillar and maybe some escort ships, and I can do that, and through whatever concept sale I can go, I can pick them up, they all got LTI, yada yada yada, I'm done. And you can set up your fleet and you can kind of move your shit around however you want to. Now, if you want to get LTI on those things, well, now you would have to already have some pre-existing buyback tokens, or basically LTI tokens, purchase those things back, and then turn around and basically CCU those ships into the ship that you want, therefore giving it LTI. Now, of course, the limitation is you only have the one buyback token per quarter, so that limits what you're able to do, and that kind of curbs that fluidity that a lot of people have enjoyed. It's that ability to kind of move things around, to change things around depending on how the game evolves, or depending on how their sensibilities evolve as to how they want to approach playing the game. Now, that being said, I would like to say that I understand why CIG is doing this. I mean, to me, it's the gray market. And so I get that. And of course, there's also the added argument that, you know, this encourages people to put more money into the game. That is also legitimate. You know, CIG is a business in the end, and businesses tend to like to make money. It's kind of one of the things that they do from time to time. But, however, I feel that the best possible way they could have gone about this is to not only go for, say, limiting it to war bond only sales, which is fresh money where you get LTI, but they should have coupled that with the removal of any limitations for buyback tokens using pre-existing funds that have been, you know, basically put into the game. Now, that would of course be, I mean, that's kind of an off the cuff, just, you know, here's one thing that you could do type solution. But realistically, I think that in the grander scheme of things, the only real solution that I could get behind is what was presented in the Noobifiers video, Enough is Enough, where he talks about LTI, ship sales, all of that. I could try to paraphrase it, but I'd probably somewhat get it a little bit wrong, or, you know, not get it in the right spirit as it was intended to be communicated. We're obviously different people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description below and let you guys go check that out. And I mean, of all the solutions I have heard, that is probably the solution that I would endorse the most. Because in my opinion now, LTI and ship sales, CCUs, I mean, LTI has always been kind of like a sore spot or a wound in the community, because originally it was something for the early backers, and then it's since in 2014 with the Gladius, it came back, and it's always been, you know, through certain trickery and certain magic, you know, you could always kind of, you know, go and you can LTI any ship, but you can only do it with certain rules and certain qualifications and all of this, yada, yada, yada. And since then, the bandage that was put on that wound has gotten dirty and filthy, and everything is just a big festering wound. I think it's time to just rip that bandage off and just clean it up and just be done with it and get rid of CCUs and all that shit. I'll let Noobifier explain it. He does a better job than I could. So that, I mean, that's in the end where I sit on this is, you know, I agree with what Noobifier presented in that video, and I detest all this LTI shit now. I detest and I resent it. I hate the fact that that's always a factor in buying a ship. I understand why people want it. I totally understand, because it is basically, it's that safety line that at the very least, no matter what happens, no matter how long down the road this game goes on, and some people say, well, you know, really going to be kind of hard to, you know, use up 6 months worth of gameplay time insurance on this ship or a year on that ship. And as a WoW player, you're so adorable to think so. You really are. He's, you know, for someone who's played a game for a decade, and will never reveal his slash blades on some of his characters, you're adorable that you think that like 6 months or a year worth of actual gameplay time is a lot. So cute. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.